Hi, my name is Alicia, and welcome to Mess to Masterpiece. Today we are talking about rest. If you're anything like me, you're wanting to run right now. Trust me, I get it. For as long as I can remember, I've always despised rest. As a baby, I always wide-eyed, wanting to just take in everything. As a school-aged child, I was always afraid that others would perceive me as being lazy, or that if I didn't wasn't constantly doing something, that could lead to failure, and which I completely feared. Even as a teacher, after I went to college and became a teacher, it was like I always was one more paper to grade, one more lesson plan, one more add in the blank, and I would go from a couple thinking, oh, I'll just do an hour, to it's 2 a.m. and I have to get up at 5 a.m. and do it all over again. So definitely rest has been something that I've really run from most of my life. So I get it when you're like, "No way, Alicia, I can't rest at all. I can't there's no way I can't make time for that." And I get it. And unfortunately, until I was forced to rest is the way that I've been having to learn how to rest, and now that I do it well all the time. But that is definitely one of the hardest things, and I don't want you to have to be forced to be made to rest, to learn how to rest. So what can we do? What are some practical tips to help us to be able to rest? Number one is prioritizing. Learning how to choose the best things, the things that you want to invest your time in most, the things that stir in your heart, or that those kind of things that you can't live without, that you're passionate about. That is what you need to be spending your time in. And so instead of dumping, I think about it, if I have a pitcher of water and and had 50 cups, it's only going to get a little bit of water, and so it's not really giving. You're not able to give much when you're dumping into a lot of different things. But if you only have maybe 5 cups that you're dumping your energy into, then you're able to invest a lot more and go deeper. And that's really what we want anyway, to be able to invest deeply into other people and into ourselves. So prioritizing is a priority. Number 2 is the physical position. And so oftentimes people think that it's boring to lay it down, but there's just something about laying on your back, or even in like a recliner chair, or on your stomach, and just letting all of your muscles get loose, and just really letting your body just relax and be what it is. You don't have to have any stresses or things, and that brings healing when we rest. And so that's so important. Obviously, that looks like sleep when we're thinking about laying down, but it also, the physical position, we could also be in nature. A lot of the times, people that love the outdoors, that's where they feel the most rested, when they go and maybe lay in a hammock or go for a walk outside. That can fill their rest cup. Also, creativity as well can fill that rest need as well. But still, no matter if you're using those other resources like nature or creativity, there's still such importance in getting actual sleep too, or actual rest of your body. When we think about rest, I think about posture as well. And obviously, that, like I said, the physical position. But when I'm thinking posture, I'm thinking of more of a heart issue. And there can be chaos going all around us. But when we posture our hearts to rest, we're finding peace. And for me, that quieting of my heart, and to listen, that starts to tone the world out. And so that is so key. And I'm also reminded, when I get in that posture, and that produces the peace in me, that this world isn't our home. I don't have to keep striving and trying and working hard for this world, but we're investing into eternal matters. And so for me, that brings great comfort and rest as well. Pouring into other people can also be a source of rest. Now, again, if you're like me, that was like an excuse to just serve and serve and serve and serve, and sign up for every possible volunteer opportunity and everything. That's not what I'm saying. But if you're in a wise time frame, pouring into other people can give your soul rest for sure, and just your heart rest as well. There's so much beauty into that outpouring of other people, and we can't pour when we are on empty. And so that's why it's so important that you start with rest to begin with, and then that allows your cup to be able to pour into other people. The last one that I want to focus on is rest brings power. And when I'm reminded that when I'm physically weak, that God is my strength, and that brings power to me. But it also brings energy too when we rest. Last night I was not feeling the best, but fell asleep at like 7 o'clock. Woke up at 7 o'clock this morning, and I am ready to go because I had 12 hours of sleep. Now that doesn't always happen, but I've seen the power that has been able to be brought in that. The focus, just the overall, my brain isn't so foggy when I've rested. So those last two, again, making sure that you are being filled up so that you're able to pour into others, and the power that can come in rest. Now, at first, when you start to practice this discipline of rest, you might feel like a toddler, and you know how they are often they throw a complete fit when you say, "Oh, it's time to take a nap." They're just throwing the biggest tantrum ever and thinking it's the end of the world and their lives are ending and everything. It's just such a big ordeal emotionally a lot of the times. And you might have a toddler out there and you know what I'm talking about. But realize that at first, a lot of times those toddlers will give some reason or give a lot of resistance, some more than others, but eventually they become used to that habit, and it's becomes something that they want, they crave. And so that's kind of the same idea. At first, rest might not feel good, it might not be something that you want, but the more that we embrace it, the more that you're going to find that it's easier, and it also the benefits that come from rest. So I pray that that you take these pieces of advice and rest. If you are also in need of other resources, I'm going to put 2 awesome links for resources of books that are great to talk about this idea of rest as well.